Hello, you're welcome to this video tutorial. So quickly we'll start learning the tools in Pixellab. Okay, so let's navigate Pixellab. First things first is that once you launch your Pixellab, if you have not designed this feature here, this is my project, it will not be available. That's if you do not have any project you have worked on. That is to say, if it's your first time using Pixellab, all right, this you will not find it. All right, so these are the templates depending on the kind of Pixellab you're using. These are different templates. All right, so you can use any of them. However, I prefer starting from a blank canvas. Okay, right. Now I will start from up. I'll start from up. Look at this particular feature here, this plus sign up here. Okay, you can use it to add text, you can use it to add current date, sticker, shapes, you can use it to add image from gallery, you can use it to draw. Okay, so let's click on text. You will see this new text. You can edit the text by double tapping it, right, and then add whatever you want to add. You add whatever you want to add. Can add current date. This is the day I'm recording this video. That's why it's showing. Okay, you can add sticker. Yeah, this is not visible right now. However, I can pick depending on the kind of Pixellab you're using. Okay, it depends on what you're using. You can also add shapes. Okay, shapes. Sorry. Click here to pick the shape you want. Alright, so next thing is from gallery. Yeah, you can add an image from your gallery. Just pick an image, right? Just pick an image from your gallery. You see? Then the next is to draw. You can draw. Alright, you can change the color. You can change the size of your pen. See, now this is big. You can decide how smooth you want it to be. Then you can actually explore by filling inside. You see how it looks like by putting a dashed line, in the sense that okay, let's head back. So I have activated this, a dashed line. So once I draw, it will be this way. You see, can make it to have a neon effect. Then you can blur it. You can blur it. So you see these features, we'll use them along the line as we continue. Okay, all right, so this feature, this pen feature right here, this pen feature is for, you can use it to edit any of your elements. Like this is selected right now, you can see that it's selected, it's not moving, so you can click here, click on copy, that is to duplicate it. This is to delete. You can delete the selected item. Alright, click on this again. You can increase the size from here. You see, can work with the relative positioning. Okay, you can still send behind. You can still use this feature to send it to the front. You can still use this feature to rotate it. Alright, okay, and this is to delete. However, if none of those elements, if none of them is picked, you see that those two features will disappear. Alright, they'll disappear. So this one is to save. We are done with the plus. This one is to save. Okay, to save your project, to save as project and to save as image. You click here, you save as project. Okay, please, once when you're using Pixellab to design and you want to save, after typing in the name of the project, just do not save directly. Do not just click OK. Make sure that your keyboard is not activated. Okay, just can, if your phone has this feature, you can just click here, a drop down, right? Or you can just head back. The reason is that if you save it immediately when your keyboard is still in view, it could make your project to scatter. All right, it could make it. Most times it does. Now let's try this out. Let's try it and see if it will scatter. Okay, let me click OK. Then I'll come to project. This is it, DS1. So let's click on it and see what happens. Now you see what I'm talking about. You see what I'm talking about. Everything has scattered, and this could be frustrating, especially assuming you created a design that is, I'm looking for one of the designs I created that has many. Okay, it's not with this phone. Oh, it's here. Alright, you see. Now assuming you created this kind of design and then you saved your work without without disabling the keyboard, like removing the keyboard, and then you want to edit it. Let's say you send it over to your client and then there's a few corrections that he or she gives, and then you come back to edit it only to find out that everything has scattered. Let's try this out. Let's just see if okay, let's see. My keyboard is still here. Let's save it and see what happens. Alright, okay, this one is still okay. Remember what I said, that is it happens most of the times but not all the times. Now imagine that you come back and you see that everything has disorganized, and then something spent like 2 hours creating. You see, that's one disadvantage of not saving properly. Alright, let's head back. I'm not saving properly. So whenever you are saving, make sure that you first remove your keyboard and then you can save. Alright, so that is for that. Now I want to show you something else. Okay, this particular one right here, that is to undo. The quite is an easy tool. Right, so this is to share, but before you share you have to save your project. Okay, so I skipped something. Save as image. Save as image. When you're saving as image, we have two formats. We have the PNG and the JPG. Okay, then in the dimensions, we have custom, we have default, we have low, medium, high, very high, ultra. So whenever you're saving your project, your image, save as ultra so that it will give you the highest print and quality, or the highest quality. Okay, so this is to zoom in and zoom out. Yeah, this is for quotes. I hardly use them. You can play around. This is very important. It's a very important tool. You can use it for your alignment. You can use it to create logos, and very important. Okay, very important. So we'll explore along the line. We'll explore it along the line. This is what we call, alright, these three dots, you can use it to, you can see use image from gallery. That is if you want to import image. This is for full screen. You are designing and you want to see how your design will look like without all these tools up here and down here. Just click here, full screen. This is to export image, which is the same with saving your image. Okay, this is to size your image. Alright, we have different sizes. Different sizes. We have A4, we have different sizes you can explore. Report bug, that is if your app is misbehaving. So all these ones I do not use them, but I use this a lot. I use it, recover autosave. Then you can click here and you see this was the first interface, or the first phase of this my design that I just started. Like, you can see the time. You can see the time. It's 30. It's 31. All right. So and look at the time now. 8:42. Okay. So now you get the point. You get the point now. This one was what I was working on yesterday night. So you get the gist. This is what we call edit stack. Edit stack. So every element you add will appear here once you click. Alright, add current date, add sticker. You see, as I'm adding, they are appearing. Yeah, you can actually edit and do some changes from here, from this edit stack. You can delete, you can hide, you can lock. Right, as a text, you can edit your text from here. So we'll explore these things as time comes, or rather as time goes on. So let's go to the bottom part, which is the part I use mostly. Now you see I can add text, I can add image using this. However, I prefer to use the ones at the bottom part. Okay, so we've talked about this already. This is the next thing we'll talk about, and this is what I call the font tool. I call it the font tool. Right, once you click here, you see that if this A is picked, it will just have two sub features, text and quotes. Like I said, quotes, I do not use them. I do not use them. So once you click on text, you see that other tools will appear. Okay, sorry about that. So graphic design. Now there's something we call styles. These are your text styles that you have saved. If you open a PLP file, a PLP text file, you can save it here. Okay, you can save it here so that once whenever you want to use it again, you can always come back to it. So Once you click save, it will save as a text. It will be asked save the current text as a new style, OK or cancel. However, I can click on browse, that is if you already have any saved sample. So by default, Pixellab will have some samples already saved by default. However, once you come to my styles over here, you see that if you saved any style, they will show. So I can tap on this and you see what I'm getting. See what I'm getting? It's just transformed. Just transformed. Yeah, it just transformed. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back. Go back. Now edit. This is, I said you can edit your text by double tapping, or you can do that by clicking here and then you edit. Okay, so let's say this text, they are all in block letters, they are all in capital letters. If you click here, everything will be in small letters. You see, this is to delete. Okay, after writing you click on OK to save. Alright, so this is to delete your text, this is to copy your text, this is to move your text, this one to front, move your text to front. So let me just add an image, let me add a sticker. So this is a sticker. Alright, this is a sticker. You can see that is on top of this text. So once I click to front, the text will come to the front. If I click to back, it will move to the back. Right? Okay, so this is to position your text. You do this manually, just adjust it, the speed, the distance, the pace you want it to cover. You adjust, with this plus sign, with this minus sign, you adjust and move. Then this is relative position. This one, I want it to be in the middle. I will click here and here. This one's in the middle, they'll be in the middle. I want it to move to the left hand side. I'll click here. So these tools, they are quite easy to use. So this is for size, to increase the size of your text. Okay, to adjust it. Yeah. Now padding is important because in some text, let me look for a text like that. Let me look for a text. Biloxi. Yeah, let's try Biloxi. Now, there's something about this Biloxi font, some of these fonts. Okay. So this font has been increased. Let's see if this will work. Let's see if this will work. You go to padding and right padding. Okay, left padding. Now you see that before it was this way, the text was this way, but when I came to padding and went to left padding and added a positive pad, you see that this part that was cut out, this part of this letter that was cut out, it came into it was visible. You see, it became visible. So in some texts, in some fonts, we see this kind of thing, we see it appearing. So it's left for you to adjust it from this padding. Alright, that's that about padding. Then color. Oh yes, you can choose color, any color of your choice. Then from here you can you decide you want only graphic to be black while design will be red. You do this. You see what I did around there? Can adjust. Can adjust. Alright. Yeah, you can adjust. Can adjust. So are you seeing this feature? Are you seeing this feature? It's such a nice feature. Then in color there's what we call gradient. In gradient, it applies to all your text. You cannot use it this way. It cannot work. Once you pick one color, that color will work on all the text there. So you can't do this. This feature is not available when it comes to gradient. Okay, you see what I'm saying? It's not available. Assuming you want only graphic to be this color here, this gold and white, if you click on it, everything will change. So just know this, because when I was starting out, I had this issue. I thought that I was the one not getting it correctly. Okay, when I wanted to work with gradients and then is doing this kind of thing, I thought I was doing it wrongly until I got to realize that okay, this is just how this works. So to get a gradient, you can click on this plus sign and then click on this color picker, this color rather, this color, you click on it and then you play around to to get what you want. Click on OK. That's for this. If you want to work on this one, tap on this node here, click on this one, and yes, then we look up. You see that if I click here, it will change. I mean the gradient will change. Are you seeing this? Are you seeing? So assuming is this way, and I want this blue part to be in the center. What I would do is to click on this particular feature here. I'll click on it and it will interchange. Are you seeing? Okay, are you seeing? Alright, so if you don't want to use your finger to choose manually, you can just use this. Click here. Okay, alright, so this one you can add another, you add a node here using this plus sign, then you can edit it and add another color you want. If you want to delete it, you click on minus. Okay, anyone you pick and click on minus, it will delete. However, you can only have just two nodes. That's the lowest, so you cannot delete any of these two again. None of them can be deleted. All right, so going on, you may want to pick a color from your background. You come here, you click on it and then pick the color you want to pick from the element. All right, the element you want to extract that color. Just click on it and then choose the part that you want. Are you seeing this? Choose the part that you want. Alright, then you click OK. Okay, so you are seeing this, or you have your own color code. Look at this. This is what we call color code. 3FEBF2. That's a color code. Now if I adjust this, you see 21F249. Color code is 6 in number. Are you seeing this? So assuming you have your own color code, let's say black, you just come here, you tap, yeah, after that you click here, then OK. So you have gotten a color code. Alright, you have gotten a gradient, you've gotten a gradient, and you can now use it to work on your text. So that is that for color. Going on, we have what we call texture. Alright, texture. You can use it to, for you to see this texture, let me change the font. Let me change the font to something visible. Something visible or something more pronounced. Alright, so this is, we are here, and then I want to work on the texture. I click on texture. You import the texture from your gallery. Now you will see what will happen. So assuming the texture I want to use is from, I don't know, okay, yeah, let's try this. So I want to use this as texture. Alright, I can crop it and pick any part I want, and then I click here. You see, this is what we are getting. This is what we are getting. You can actually adjust it. You enable it to maintain the ratio. You can increase the scale or decrease it depending on what you want. Alright, okay, so that's that for texture. So one thing about texture is that if your font has a color and then you added a texture, that color will disappear. Okay, it will disappear. Alright, it will disappear. Now this is opacity, like you want it to be visible or not. You work with it. This one, affect shadow. This has to do with when you add shadow, to your text, and then click on opacity. If it's not activated, if you bring down the opacity, you still be seeing this shadow, but once you enable it, the shadow will disappear. So that is that for opacity. Rotate, that is to rotate. Okay, that's to rotate it. Then mask is to cut out some part of your some part of your text. Okay, you mask it out. You have out, you have in, then you can adjust the nodes from here depending on what you want to achieve. Okay, so it all depends on what you want though. Let's move on. We have font. Okay, yeah, we have font. That is to choose the kind of font you want to use. These ones are Pixellab defaults. These are my fonts that I added myself. Okay, so this is for style. You can make it to be bold, you can make it to be italicized, you can underline. Then if you want all these features to go out, click here. Remember what I told you about color, you can actually do you can do that kind of thing here. Just pick only graphic, make it bold. You pick only this design and underline it. Okay, you want everything to go out, so you click on this, you click on it, and it goes out just for this design. Click on it, it goes out for the graphic. So that's for style. This is to curve your text. You can curve it upwards. That's to curve or bend. You can bend it this way. Okay, depending on what you want to achieve. Now this is background. This background is just for your text. Okay, once you enable it, you can choose the color, you can pad it, you can pad here. Okay, you can even increase the radius. Alright, so that's for background. This is to align. If you're aligning, you can see what is giving us. You align, this is called right alignment, center, left alignment, center alignment, right alignment. You can justify. However, I hardly use this justify. Okay, so we'll use these features, we'll use them when we are designing. This is spacing. You can reduce the spacing of your text. Okay, you can increase the spacing. That's for the letter spacing. For the words, you can increase the spacing, you can decrease it. Okay, now this is line spacing. This will only happen if your text is in a horizontal format, horizontal line, it will not work. However, if it's this way, it will work if it's vertical. Okay, so you just have to play around and get what you want. This is stroke. Okay, this is to stroke your text. You can stroke it with any color you want. Alright, you can use gradients as your stroke too. Just depends on what you want. Then you can increase the stroke width from here or decrease it. The next thing is shadow. Here we use this shadow a lot. You can use it to make your text to be realistic. Make it to be realistic, and you can choose the color you want actually. This is to move it to the left hand side, move to the right hand side. This is to move down or move up. Alright, so we'll play around with shadow as time goes on. This is for inner shadow. Alright, inner shadow. So it's almost the same with shadow, the normal shadow, just like this one only takes place in the elements. That's why it's called inner shadow. So we'll explore it too. We'll explore it. Emboss. Oh yeah, this feature, it's crazy. I mean, when I say crazy, it's nice. However, on some Pixellab, actually, in a look at what I'm trying to get. You see, this is just like spoiling the text. So I heard that it's from phones that has Android version of 10.0 and above, something like that. That is where you will see this kind of thing happening. So there's actually a way you can cure it. There's a way you can correct it, but we'll explore that later. This is emboss. This is emboss. This is perspective. It's a very nice tool. Yeah, it's a very nice tool. If you learn how to use it, you will enjoy it. Okay, so perspective, very nice. We'll explore it. Then this is 3D rotate. You want it to go this way or this way or this way. Okay, right. Now this is 3D text. You want your text to be in a 3D format. Once you click on it, just come here and disable this thing, disable it, and then you can now work on the depth. You can work if you want it to be perspective or oblique, and then increase it this way. It all depends on what you want actually. You can darken it. You can make it to be lighter. You can use color to change it. Look at how it is. Instead of it being dark, it's now having this color. Okay, you can use gradients. Alright, so as for this oblique, this will work for it, oblique angle. However, if you decide to choose perspective, you see that it will disappear. There is no oblique angle, it has disappeared. But then we have X rotation, we have Y rotation, we have Z rotation. That is for perspective. But then oblique, it will have oblique angle and Z rotation only. There is no X rotation, there is no Y rotation. Okay, so that is that for 3D text. Going ahead, you see 3D shadow. You see 3D shadow. I enable it. Okay, so let me turn off this 3D text. See the 3D shadow. You can increase opacity or reduce it. See the blur radius, you can increase it or reduce it. You can expand it. So I hardly use this feature actually. I hardly use it. Then this is reflection, for your text to reflect. Okay, alright, so that is that for the text tool. That is that for the text tool. So the next video we'll discuss the next one, which is the image tool. Okay, we'll discuss the image tool in the next video. Alright, so see you in the next video.